The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to High Fee Mastery, how to take your business online now. And you know, we are at a very exciting moment. We have 689 people registered for this, which is so close to 700. If you would be wonderful enough to share the URL that's on the screen right now, that's where your friends, colleagues, cohort of subscribers and fans, your fans, can pop in and join you for this special masterclass training. It's simply highfee.com. Post it on Facebook, tweet it out, put it on LinkedIn. Hey, I'm on this masterclass on how to move your business online. Highfee.com. Come join me. And we'd love to break the 700 registration barrier. Now you're here, you're excited, you're doing all this great stuff. Share this with one or two or three people in your network. You can even email it out if you want to. Email it, tweet it, Facebook it, LinkedIn, put it in your Instagram story. Do whatever you need to do. Do whatever you need to do. While we're doing that, let me get into presentation mode here. I want to make sure everyone can see and hear. So you should be looking at a screen that has the title slide, my smiling face, masterclass series, and of course, highfee.com, which is the URL that you're sharing out there. See and hear everything okay? Just type in yes in the question box, and then I will know that we're all connected and looking good. And let me just pop that open real quick. Whoops, little premature slide advancement there. Let me get over to, here we go. There it is. All right, fantastic. Really good. So Frank, Guy, John Barb is here. Fantastic. Always great to have clients, alumni. Brooke, Wendy, Harriet, Mike, Bob, Catherine, Kathy, Frank, Ross, and Jennifer. And hi, Jennifer, back to you, who's saying hi, David. So great to see you. Great to see you. We've got folks pouring in here from left and right, which is really awesome. We've got 1 minute to go. Again, feel free to tweet out highfee.com, post it, invite people. We got to share the wealth. This is the time when a lot of people are looking to take their business online and protect their revenue, protect their cash flow for the rest of 2020, pivot, flex, add some virtual and remote revenue streams into your world, which I think is super, super important, probably now more than ever. Now more than ever. So thank you in advance for sharing that. And I'm seeing some nice comments here about sharing it on Facebook, sharing it on Twitter, etc. Casey's here. Jennifer says, you are so popular. Carter Campbell, C2, great to see you. Cynthia is here. Nice to see you as well, of course. Marcia says, thanks for doing this. Of course, my pleasure. And Mark is here, and I have the top of the hour. So without any further ado, you can still share. You can still pop it out there that, hey, I'm on highfee.com. Get your tushy in here and learn with us and pivot and flex and do all those things to get your business into a online friendly format. But let's get started with the content that you came here for. Whoops, man, this mouse is going bananas here. All right, quick poll in the question box, right back to the question box. You had about a 3-second break there. Are you primarily right now a consultant, a coach, a trainer, or a speaker? I know, of course, many folks here do all of these different things, but what is your primary? What's the biggest part of your pie? Are you primarily consulting and you do some coaching, training, etc.? So if so, put consultant. If your primary revenue stream right now is coaching, you might do the other things, you might not. Put coach. If you do training, seminars, breakouts, workshops, primarily put trainer. And of course, if you go out to corporations, associations, groups, and conferences, and you spend most of your time on stage as a speaker, put speaker. And let's see who is in the house. Let's see who is in the house here. All right. So we've got lots of consultants. The coaches are catching up nicely. Not a lot in the training category yet, unless I'm scrolling down here. Lots of speaker folks, which is good. All right, so it's pretty much an even mix. Perhaps trainer is in fourth place, but I see the trainers are now stepping up as well. So let me ask you the elephant in the room question. The elephant in the room question is also the elephant in the room, of course, with your clients, which is this crazy global health crisis known as coronavirus and COVID-19. Have you been affected? And I know it sounds like a stupid question. Of course, we've all been affected with the news and with, being concerned about loved ones and various lockdowns and quarantines. But has your business been affected by the impact of COVID-19, specifically canceled events, postponed events, being concerned about your clients' well-being, be concerned about your income, your prospecting activity might have taken a hit, your sales activity certainly might have taken a hit, and we're going to fix all of that. But I'm curious which of these symptoms, because we can focus more time or less time on some of these things, I'm curious which ones have been most impactful for you. So, Andre says yes, especially on prospecting and sales activity. Jeff says yes, several canceled face-to-face workshops. Terry says all of the above. Mary says I had $300,000 of business canceled in March and August. Harriet says conferences canceled. Marky says yes, events have been canceled and postponed. Carolyn says canceled conferences and conference bookstores. David says lost 100% of live in-person activity. Heather says canceled events, client well-being, income sales. Eddie says canceled events. Lewis says not really. That's cool. Guy says some. Tina says definitely. Jeff says canceled events, and it goes on and on and on. Yes, all programs now postponed, says Teresa. Jackson says yes. Janet says yes. Yes, absolutely, says Kathy. Michael and Marcia both are going crazy on the exclamation points with lots of exclamation points after the word yes. All right, so the good news is, and the bad news, I suppose, is that you're not alone. You're not alone, and there are definitely things you can do, and there's definitely things I'm going to teach you on this masterclass that you can do that will help to protect your cash flow, preserve your income for the rest of 2020, flex your delivery modes into remote and virtual training and speaking and coaching and mentoring. And that's really why we're here. So the game plan for today is really about how to survive, pivot, and prevent any significant loss. And this also includes preventing losses for your clients, because the big marketing mantra that don't just worry about your clients and customers, worry about the client of your client and worry about the customer of your customer, because that's where your client is hurting. So how to fix that, how to really take care of our folks in this time of great need, helping your prospects with their sanity, with their career, with all of the uncertainty that they're up against, how to avoid some sales landmines, and we'll talk about that, some insensitive missteps and gaffes, even during this crazy upside down turbulent time. How to talk fees, how to manage your cash and your money, and how to charge your worth. Because most everyone on this training, your value in this crisis has gone up. It has not gone down. Let me repeat that. Your value in today's market right now, with the upside down, crazy, uncertainty, danger, risk, all of those things, your value has gone up. It has not gone down. Please remember that. And a lot of this is about the mindset with which you're approaching the marketplace as well. So we're going to talk about how you can increase your reach and revenue in this new remote, virtual, non-event, non-in-person world that we find ourselves in, kind of a crazy upside down universe, and then some next steps to help you make it happen. And of course, as always, we have a huge Q&A at the end to help answer any specific questions that you have or any questions about today's training. I will hang out for as long as it takes to answer your questions about moving your business to a virtual remote delivery business model and revenue model, and how you can do that safely and smartly, even amidst all this turbulence. So let's talk about what's really going on. The keys to working in today's environment, and this, of course, is changing every day, every hour. This is different than it was 3 weeks ago. It's different than it was 6 weeks ago. It's even different than it was 3 days ago. But some things don't change, which is approaching your market and approaching your buyers with a genuine sense of caring, empathy, and relevance. And we're going to circle back to that relevance concept in a moment. We're going to talk about remote program design and the 4 different kinds of remote programs that you could be and should be offering your clients to help them right now, because right now they need you more than ever, even though they can't physically bring you in. Scale and leverage built into your remote and virtual offerings, how you can disconnect your financial value from your personal time, attention, and presence. And previously, that was a good idea, right? We called that scalability. We called that having a freedom-based business. We called that, having online or hybrid training, coaching, and consulting. Today, it's a necessity, because if your presence goes to zero, we don't want your financial situation or your value to go to zero. So we have to really disconnect the value that you deliver from your personal time, attention, and presence, so that we can preserve your earning power. And we don't want your income to go from whatever it was. Mary said $300,000 down to zero. Other people have lost $100,000, $140,000, $30,000 of business simply evaporating from their calendar, or being delayed, or being postponed, being canceled. The good news is that you can get going on this right now. And today's training is going to be a pivotal moment. So that's why I said, please, for this one, show up live, show up ready to take notes, show up, turn off any other distractions, get off of email, get off of anything that's booping or beeping or dinging, close your office door. This might be the very most important training that you get for calendar year 2020. If you want your business to survive, if you want your clients and prospects and audiences to survive with you, these are the essential steps that you have to take to build the runway, build a more secure future. Things will come back, but they will not come back the same. They will come back different. And the people that are positioned now to flex and adapt their business model and their revenue model to the remote and virtual and online delivery mode, when things restart, you'll be ready to fire on all cylinders. The live business will come back, and you will have a robust online, virtual, and remote business as well. I know it sounds crazy right now to talk about growth and to talk about more revenue and to talk about doing even better than before. But the people that come into this the right way will get out of it the right way. I'm going to share a fortune cookie quote with you. It's one of my favorites. A bend in the road is never fatal unless you fail to turn. Let me repeat that, because it's one of my favorites. A bend in the road is never fatal unless you fail to turn. And we do not want you crashing into the wall. We do not want you getting sideswiped into the fencing. We want you to turn. Turn as the road is bending. And man, oh man, my friends, the road is bending right now. It's never bent more, never bent faster. So back to the question box. Scale of 0% to 100%. Your balance of in-person revenue generation versus online right now. 0% means you've got no webinars, no videos, no online courses, no remote delivery of any kind, and you are 100% dependent on live events and your personal presence in front of a live audience. That is 0%. Now, it's a full spectrum, 0 through 100. What 100% looks like is that your business is 100% online right now. You're doing regular webinars. You have lots of video, 1 or more flagship courses that are being sold right now, 100% remote delivery, and you have 0 dependence on ever needing to show up at a live event unless you want to. So where are you? 0 to 100, 10, 20, 30, 70, 75, 66, 22, 99. Where are you on this spectrum right now? Please type your number in the question box and we'll see where folks are. Wow, what a spread. Okay, fantastic. Really, really good. So we've got this, anywhere from the zeros to the 20s. Don Evans is at 100%. Congratulations, my friend. I bet you're glad that you made that investment. We've got 35%. Guillermo's at 10. Susan's at 25. Dave is at 0% online. Kathy's at 75%. Tina's at 5%. Steve's at 20. Mark and Sharon both at 0. David is at 1, 25, etc. Yes, Zoom meetings count. Zoom meetings count to answer Marsha's question. 50%, 80, 20, 25. Thule says 90%. Of course, Thule's a digital pioneer and she was online before online was a cool thing. So great to have you here, my friend. 0% for Lewis. Lindy's at 50. Cynthia's at 0. So yeah, quite a spread, quite a spread. I say this not to brag because, who knew that I was in a position to brag. Our company is at 100. Our company is 100. I have not had to show up. I've shown up at a lot of live events. And I love doing live events. I love doing live speaking and seminars and retreats and private events for our clients and speaking for associations and companies. Haven't had to do that since 2013. So we have been running a 100% online, digital, virtual, remote business since 2013. 2013, I wanted to do that. 2020, you have to do that. So that not that you have to move 100% online, but you have to have the ability, as the world is showing us, to be able to retreat online when everything else dries up. So it is an evergreen strategy that will supplement and complement any of the other business models that you may have. And I liked it so much back in 2011, 2012, that I actually dropped the other things because I liked the online so much. And so that was an option. Today, I am grateful. I'm literally on my hands and knees on a daily basis saying, thank you, God. Thank you, the powers that be. Thank you, universe. I am so glad that I made this decision 7 years ago. And it can take you a lot less time. It can take you a lot less time. Unfortunately, or fortunately, sometimes it's a crisis like this that's the wake-up call that says, wait a minute, I'm too dependent on services A, B, and C. I need insurance. I need protection. I need some safeguards in my business where if something dries up over here, I can always go over there. I can pivot. I can flex. I can adapt. That's what we're talking about with having an online and virtual remote delivery suite of offerings. Business evolution, I just mentioned it, but it's worth repeating here just for 3 quick seconds. First 3 years of my business, many of you know the story from previous webinars. I was just doing speaking and training, totally broke. Every dead end, every misstep, every mistake in the book, totally hopeless. Finally started to get a clue about 3 years in. And then for about 3 years, I did a lot of live-led programs. I had 2 primary things only: speaking, live, human beings in the same room, spreading germs, etc., and then one-on-one coaching, which was virtual, a little bit in person, but mainly virtual, and at that point by phone and teleconference and so forth. That was before Zoom. So 2009, started doing group coaching as a pretty major supplement to my revenue. 2012, started getting into webinars, and then the transition really happened in 2013, 2014. I stopped doing one-on-one. I now only do live events when I want to and when it's fun and when the money's right. I added a high-fee mentoring component, which we'll talk about for you. And then in 2015, we added high-fee masterminds, which now, fast forward to today, that's called our Platinum Council. And that is our coolest, biggest, best, smartest, most fun clients to work with. And they're with us for a multi-year commitment as they're, growing their business and rocking the big world. So I want to show you how to do that in your business and what the building blocks are, what the moving parts are, what it looks like, and especially how to market that and sell that with care and sensitivity in today's marketplace without being seen as a pusher or a peddler or a profiteer or a scumbag or someone who is manipulating or monopolizing this global health crisis to your advantage, but rather someone who is serving with high relevance, highly targeted, much needed, desperately needed, high priority, high urgency solutions to help your clients and audiences and customers with the things that are their number one urgency and number one priority. And we'll talk about what those number one urgencies and priorities are because they're different than they were 3 weeks ago. And we'll talk about the psychology behind that shift and how you need to shift your marketing and shift your messaging to adapt. So first thing I want to show you here is my calendar back in February of 2013, just about 7 years ago, a little bit more than 7 years ago. I had actually 27 one-on-one meetings, 27 with individual private clients, and that really didn't scale above a certain point because I was literally trading dollars for hours. So when you do the math, let's just say you have a $4,500 program and you can adjust your number up or down, doesn't matter. But let's just say for the sake of this math, $4,500 for a 90-day one-on-one relationship, 10 to 12 active clients at any time. That means you're serving 40 to 50 clients in a year, and you're topping out somewhere at $180,000 to $225,000. To some of you, that sounds great. To some of you, that's a pay cut. And to some of you, you're like, oh, I wish someday, maybe, that would be so awesome. But I'll tell you the problem with it once you get there. You are doing 60, 65, 70-hour work weeks. You have no freedom. You have no scale because you're literally trading dollars for hours. You have no time off. You take vacation, you get sick. Basically, when you stop, the money stops. So you're going to hit a natural ceiling there. That business is not a long-term business. What that business is, or in my case, what that business was, I built myself a very nice job. I built myself a job. A job is you do 60 hours and you get $180,000 and you stop, the money stops. And that was it. So looking at your current business model, whether it's speaking, coaching, training, consulting, you might have a job, might be a very nice, highly paid job, 3, 4, 500,000, 100,000, whatever it is. But when you look at it through the lens that I just shared with you, are you selling your time? Have you built yourself a job versus built yourself a business? That's simply a yes or no. And then based on the math I just shared, what do you think is your revenue cap? If you were fully booked with, 4 speaking gigs a month, 20 coaching clients, 4 consulting gigs, 4 big consulting gigs, 5 training days, 10 training days a month, whatever your ideal number is, multiply that by your rate. And what is your salary cap right now? I would love to see the math. If you feel that you're selling your time because nothing is online, nothing is scalable, nothing is digital, nothing is set up for one-to-many, or not a lot of things are, and then doing the math like I just did back in my business when it was 2013, is there a revenue cap? And the revenue cap might be, 500K. The revenue cap might be 100K, 125. It might be like me, 180, 225, something like that. But you will never get past it. If everything is working ideally in the old world, forget about the new world, but in the old world, if everything was working great last year, you still have that revenue cap. And now, of course, the world has been upside down, inside out, shaken and stirred. I'm curious what your answers are. Curious what your answers are on this one. So we've got some revenue caps. I'm guessing that people that are putting in numbers, your answer is yes, that you are selling your time. So we've got 60K, 200, 400, 500, 150 revenue cap, 360, 250. Some of it's a job and some of it is scalable, says Charles. I scaled way back when my regular work week had gotten to 80 hours. Oh my goodness, Carolyn, I totally hear you. Jim is here. And let's see, Ari and Laura. So a lot of yeses. Lots and lots and lots of yeses here. And we're getting more numbers, 200K. Mark says yes. Yes, I'm selling time, 485K. 400 to 500K, says Marsha. 350, 360, 125, 400, 485. I like Marky just did the exact math to get to 485,000. So I love that. Lynn says 225, Kevin says 250, and then Tim, we'll leave with Tim's comment. Burnout is costly. And Tim, you are correct, my friend. Burnout is costly. Burnout is expensive. Burnout is expensive. So let's try and get past that. Now, let's talk about your clients. Client psychology. How do you market? How do you sell when someone is gripped with fear, uncertainty, doubt? What's the psychology look like? And how do we need to pivot our messaging? Before we can offer them anything by way of help, live, online, virtual, expensive, cheap, doesn't matter. They're not listening to you right now. Let me repeat that. They're not listening to you right now. Old priorities are completely gone. Things they were concerned about 3 weeks ago, totally off the map, totally off the radar. Could not care less. If you're doing the same messaging, if your homepage says the same thing, if your speaker one sheet, if your consulting packages, if your coaching programs say the same exact thing they said 3 weeks ago, you're dead in the water already. You're dead in the water already. It's over. You are living in an old world. The old world died about 3 weeks ago. Maybe you didn't get the memo. But old priorities for your buyers, customers, clients, prospects are gone. They are, whether you agree or not, I'm going to say they are rightly freaked out. If you would not be freaked out during this time of crazy uncertainty, I would say you have to have your head examined. So don't justify, don't tell them not to worry, don't tell them everything's going to be fine, because you're dealing with someone who is probably in some mild flavor of panic or shock. Let me repeat that. Your buyers, clients, customers, prospects are in a mild state. Either that or they're delusional or psychotic or already hiding, sucking their thumb under their desk, but they are rightly freaked out. Please acknowledge that. They are rightly freaked out. Many of you are rightly freaked out. If my mindset were not up to date, I might be freaked out. I'm not freaked out because we're doing fantastic work with amazing clients and you guys are all here. So I'm not freaked out. But could I be? Should I be? Maybe. Maybe. Here's what they're concerned about. Will they lose their job? Will they be cut? Will they be furloughed? Will they be downsized? What's going to happen to all their customers? Will their customers evaporate, go away, disappear, be quarantined, be shut out? If you're looking at hospitality, airlines, hotels, any sort of business that relies on travel or in-person human-to-human contact, retail store, you name it, huge fear, uncertainty, doubt, millions of jobs already lost in the last 3 to 5 weeks. Millions. They're asking themselves, will our company even survive? And then you come along, hey, how about a leadership program? Hey, how about some sales training? Hey, you want to talk about innovation, collaboration, team building? Hey, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Not listening. You're on a different planet if that's what you're pitching right now. So I want you to think of how you handle a personal downturn. Because all of our prospects are humans, right? All of our prospects are individual human beings with a face, a voice, a family, a spouse, a husband, a wife, kids, parents, brothers, siblings, friends, neighbors. What would you do? Or what are you doing right now? Well, I'll tell you what you're doing. Here's crisis behavior. They are going to cut everything that seems like, underline the word seems like, discretionary spending. If you show up in the nice to have bucket instead of the have to have bucket, forget about it. Never going to happen. You need to become a must have, and you need to pivot your messaging to become now more than ever. Now more than ever messaging is what you need right now. They're looking to reduce costs and extend the runway. And yes, that includes toilet paper. Oh my God, how long will the toilet paper last? We don't know. Better use 2 squares. Billy, 2 squares, not 3, not 4. Reduce costs, extend the runway, preserve the resources that they have. They're looking to reduce risk, hunker down, the last thing on their mind is growth. The last thing on their mind is hitting their quota. The last thing on their mind is being an employer of choice that could not care less. Any sort of growth or benefit or plus messaging needs to go out the window. And then finally, they are looking for social cues and they're going to follow the herd. They're going to avoid complexity. They're going to do what everyone else is doing. Oh, well, our big competitor did layoffs. We better start doing layoffs. Oh, our big competitor closed the stores. We better close our stores. Oh, they canceled all the meetings until September. We better cancel every meeting until December. They are totally closing ranks, following the herd, doing what they're seeing other people do because that's what you do when you panic. That's what you do when you panic. Your message needs to be simpler than ever and more relevant than ever. And I'm going to get a drink of water. You really have to avoid complexity. They don't care. Their brain is burning through so many calories. The most they can absorb, if it's highly relevant, positioned and flexed the right way, and everything else is right, the most they can absorb is a very simple marketing message. So here's your new marketing language bank. We teach our clients this in several of our different programs, but I want to give you a little nugget of it now. You have to adapt your message with different kinds of verbs and nouns. And you may want to screenshot this. You may want to just kind of look at this, jot down some notes. You have to adapt your message to this reality that I just put here in the top of the slide. So what kind of words should you be using? Extend, preserve, protect, safeguard, survive, restore, reboot, pivot, and flex. What kind of nouns should you be using when you refer to the crazy upside down time right now? You want to be careful, you want to be sensitive, you want to be empathetic. You can certainly start talking about times of change. Change is cool, turbulence, turmoil, trouble, uncertainty. Depending on where you're at and what your target market is, the word downturn might be fine. In the financial market, you definitely want to be talking about a downturn. You want to avoid crisis, right? Unless they're genuinely having a crisis, because you don't want to make it worse and you don't want to catastrophize it and you don't want to come across as a fearmonger. But if you use that word crisis, moderate it in a sentence or in a marketing bullet. So, it's possible that your employees are feeling like they're in crisis, right? That's different than, oh my God, guys, there's a crisis. You have to buy from me. This is really important. Crisis, crisis, crisis. The sky is falling. They're getting enough of that when they tune in to CNN, Fox News, and CNBC. We do not need to add to the fear-mongering and the sky is falling and the craziness. So do all of this messaging with empathy. But do you see the power of adapting your marketing message to where their psychology is today? Extend, preserve, protect, safeguard, survive, restore, reboot, pivot, and flex. Why are we doing that? Because we're undergoing some change, some turbulence, some turmoil, some trouble, some uncertainty, a downturn, and a crisis. So think about whatever your topic is during times of change, in turmoil, during a downturn, in times of crisis. So now, if your program is about leadership, it should be leading through a downturn. If your program is sales, sales during times of great uncertainty. If it's team building in a time of turbulence, turmoil, and trouble. It's like people are freaking out. People are virtual. People are hunkered down at home. You're talking about team building, collaboration, innovation? Well, yes. Why? Because you have to preserve your innovation pipeline. You have to protect your go-to-market strategy. You have to safeguard your Q2, Q3, and Q4 results. If you're talking to a CEO or a vice president level person, believe me, they just came out of a meeting where they're saying, well, how do we protect and preserve and safeguard our Q2 and Q3 and Q4 results? Oh my God, their hair's on fire. That is their number one priority. When you show up on their radar using the same language, the same priorities, and the same urgencies, you will get their attention. If this makes sense, if you can start to see how to use this one slide in your business, I want you to type booyah. Type booyah. Booyah in the question box, my friends. I want to see booyah from everybody. Because if you're not doing this, your business is out of tune, out of touch, and soon going to be out of the game. Let me hear a booyah in the comments if you're going to start to do this right now as of this afternoon. This is your homework for today and tomorrow, is to change your marketing message to adapt your marketing language to their reception language, to the language that they're going to be receptive of. And I want to count my booyahs. I think I earned that one. I'm sorry. I think I earned that one. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Fantastic. So Phil, Frank, Dave, Deb, Carla, Libby, Kevin, Teresa, Tony, Marky, John, other John with an H, Barry, David, Gail, Steve, Reg, Wendy, Billy, Phil. Fantastic. Thank you for all the booyahs. Thank you. I am grateful. Even if I earn the booyah, still grateful. Still grateful to you for it. All right. So the key to results is to get rid of the old mindset. Old mindset needs to go bye-bye. We have to fully adopt and adapt into the present moment and into the present reality. When we're talking about selling, we're talking about marketing, we're talking about offering a value and inviting engagement. Do you think that our prospects, do they need more panic or do they need more help? They probably don't need more panic. They probably don't need more, oh my gosh, the sky is falling, horrible, terrible, the store shelves are empty. We can get Huggies and Pampers, but it looks like toilet paper is a no-go. So you are here to be a source of more help, more relevant help, more valuable help, and help that they need now more than ever. Now more than ever. Now let's talk about normally. What happens normally in normal times? In normal times, things are bad enough as far as getting a client's attention and getting them to step up. Think about the nightmare prospects that you've had where there's no urgency, there's no seriousness, they put you off, they blow you off. I have to think about it. I can't afford it. That sounds great. It's just probably not for us right now. Well, maybe we'll do this next year. Yeah, you know what? We're going in a different direction. These are the typical low urgency, low relevance. You didn't strike a chord. You didn't land. You didn't stick the landing. Somehow it was ships passing in the night and they just didn't get it despite your best efforts. Type in yes if you've had this experience. Type in if anyone has ever said, type in the word yes in the question box if you've ever had that crazy, squirrely, squirmy prospect who is just can't get off the dime, can't make a decision, complaining about the price, not for us, not now, going in a different direction, thanks but no thanks, later, bye-bye, or they disappeared on you completely because the urgency meter was probably set on 0. I thought it was just me. So thank you, everyone. I see a lot of yes in the question box. I thought it was just me. Apparently, it's not just me. Let's also talk about the nightmare client from hell. Even when they hire you, they don't see the value. They push back on your fees. They don't do the work. They don't implement. They don't show up for calls. They don't get results. Big surprise, right? I always tell our clients, I said, listen, it's amazing the results you do not get from the work that you do not do. And that is 100% true. Now, imagine if their hair is on fire, they're distracted, they're stressed, they're freaking out. But even when you're hired, have you had this experience during normal times? Type the word oi. Type the word oi that my people like to use. Oi, if you've had that experience where they buy, but they don't show up, they don't implement, they ghost you on calls, they don't show up for the training, they don't show up for the consulting, they blow you off, they constantly reschedule. You've had these clients. I know you've had them because I've had them. And so yes, oi, 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 oi. Oi vey, yes, exactly. Thank you for the complete phrase. Totally fantastic. You get the idea. Now, here's why this happens. Again, even in normal times, here's why it happens. When you show up with a low fee offer, it's low value. Low value means low level of respect. low level of expectation, low effort on the part of your client, and low results. Again, no big surprise. That's a doom loop, right? That's a negative loop. Let's look at it the other way. And yes, it is exhausting and depressing. Let's look at it the other way when you sell highly relevant, highly tailored, high value programs. Let's look at how it's different. When they pay a lot, they pay a lot more attention, meaning that high fee indicates high value. You get a high level of respect. There's a high expectation that what you're going to teach them and coach them and consult them through is going to work. They put in a high amount of effort to implement. They always show up. They never ghost you on calls. If they have to reschedule once in a blue moon, they give you plenty of notice because it's high respect, high results coming from high effort and high implementation. This kind of client, in good times or bad, is always energizing and profitable and fun. And this is the kind of client we want to get in good times and in bad, both. Good times, bad times, anytime when a client is coming to you, especially now when it's a crisis, it's a high stakes, high urgency situation, you can't afford to lowball your fees. And you can't afford to undermine the positioning of your solution because you flexed it and pivoted it to the present moment. It should be more valuable, not less. It should be more valuable, not less. So Copy Green came through one of our programs, and this is just about selling big right out of the gate, right? She said some nice things up here about tremendous value, direct, no BS, to the point, and honest. Techniques and processes are bulletproof, action-oriented, not philosophical. You're focused on helping us get results, and you give everything that we need to do that. The part that I like best is the part that I highlighted, using the tools I developed with your guidance. I locked in a $60,000 plus contract. The reason that this is relevant to high fee, high value programs is you want to sell big. You don't want to sell small. You want to solve bigger problems, get bigger checks. Don't try and piecemeal it now. Don't try and discount it now. Don't try and small ball it now. Don't do the small potatoes, scarcity thinking. Maybe I can sell them something for a couple $1,000 and we'll see where that goes. Your first sale can be a big sale, just like Copy's first sale was a big sale. So let me walk you through my evolution with this. I'm going to just walk you through some screenshots here. This was September of 2015. And again, our business was already 100% online. And we were selling some things kind of, low fee, medium fee. But then we really switched. By this point in the game, we had switched to a high fee model that I'm going to share with you. So September 2015, we brought in $57,000. And that's top line sales as a company. That's not going into my pocket, of course. October, 67,977, and then November is when we had our first six-figure month. And it wasn't close, it was $147,000 in 30 days, November of 2015. As soon as this happened, my entire life went wacky town. I was like, what is happening? It's like I entered the Matrix, red pill, blue pill. I could not believe it myself. If I didn't see the numbers in the merchant account, didn't see the numbers in the shopping cart, I would not have believed it myself. But when you shift to a high fee, high urgency, high value business model and delivery model, you can do that. Now, all of these programs here, 100% online. Never had to show up anywhere, never had to meet face to face. This is 100% remote delivery. We'll talk about what that looks like in a moment. Remote delivery, virtual, distance, training, coaching, speaking, mentoring, consulting. First time that the bank account ever had $100,000 sitting in it was here. I actually took a screenshot on August 28th at 5:33 a.m. Yes, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Some of you know that if you've worked together before. I just thought this was unbelievable. Oh my God, like really? Usually there was like $6,000, $7,000 in here. But because of the sales and the rapid acceleration of the sales, the money was accumulating in there And then for the first time ever, I had a business savings account. For the first time ever, I was proactively setting aside money for my SEP IRA. For the first time ever, this company had something called profit instead of hand to mouth, month to month. Let's see how much money's left in the bank account this month. But again, this was surprising and amazing and crazy to me before it was surprising, amazing, or crazy to anybody else. This is a export from our shopping cart software, and you can see the scale of the sales that are coming in to make these kinds of numbers. So 12,000, 9,500, we have a whole bunch of 9,500 sales, 6,500, $6,000, 5,500, some other different programs are around 5K. But this is the kind of revenue that you can make. We're not talking about hundreds of dollars. We're not talking about thousands. We can be talking about 8K, 9K, 10K, 12K per client in a virtual, online, remote delivered world. I never had to show up anywhere for 12K, plus my in-person speaking fees higher than 12K. I never had to show up anywhere for $9,500. I never had to show up anywhere for these $6,000 sales. These are online, remote. I'll show you what they are in a moment. But here's a question for you. Genuine reflection, be as honest and open as you can. Only I see these. I'm not going to use names. I'm not going to call out your name for this one, so you're totally anonymous. What would your life and business look like if you were earning 10K per client while working 100% remotely? Like me, you never had to put pants on if you didn't want to. And that is the situation that we're in right now, my friends. I do not have to. Luckily, I'm wearing pants today, just for your benefit. But I never have to put on pants unless I want to. What would your life look like? Put a couple emotion words in there. Would it be relief? Would it be exciting? Would it be fun? Would it be weird? Would it be a little disconcerting? Would it turn your world upside down a little bit? Would it take some getting used to? What would your life and business look like? Genuinely, share that with me in the questions, and I'll just call out I'm not going to call out the names. I'm just going to call out the words and the reactions of every client coming in is at least 10K. Again, 8K, 6K, 9K, 10K, 12K, whatever it is. And you're working 100% remote. You're working in your jammies. You're a global citizen. You can be wherever you want. So dream come true, comfortable and energizing, fantabulous, ecstatic, less stressful, more fluid, great and grateful, wildly wonderful, almost makes me weak-kneed, freedom, vision, complete, would give some flexibility, liberating. There would be so much less stress, strife, and fighting about money in my home. Too boring, not 100%, maybe 50% max. Love that answer. Spectacular, fulfilled, crazy town. That was my reaction for sure. Life would be fun and expansive. Fun. It would be amazing. Fantastic. Great relief. I can get used to that easily. Great. Good. 7 figures, working 300 hours per year with 0 travel. Another liberating. Too little, making more. A good cigar. I like that. Relieved and peaceful. All great answers. Thank you. Thank you. So I mentioned this before. We don't need to spend a lot of time on here. I shifted to this model in 2013 because I wanted to. I just thought this would be cool. This fits my lifestyle. This is what I want to be doing. This is what I enjoy. This plays to my strengths. In 2020, you have to. You have to. It's not optional to be the smartest, safest, wisest entrepreneur of your expertise. We need to add online investable opportunities to your business, and we need to do that now. Now. Like right now, March, April, May 2020, now is the time. So let's talk about what these high-fee online programs look like and why they're cool and why they're amazing and why you want to add them to your toolkit. First of all, it's one-to-many delivery mode. It's 100% remote, and it's 100% scalable. We're going to dig into that in a moment. Here's the building blocks. I call this the 3+1 power formula. First part is a high-fee group mentoring program. A high-fee group mentoring program is delivered online via Zoom It has a real start date. It has a real end date. You sign up people. There's a cohort of people that go through it. They go through week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They can be 6-week program, 8-week program, 10, 12 weeks at the most. Most of mine are 8 weeks. They graduate, and then you collect the next group of people. And that's a high fee group mentoring model. When they graduate, you want to put them in a high achieving peer group, a high fee elite access group that's going to be with you for a year. What does elite access mean? It means they get elite access to you, that you're the convener, you're the chair, you are the guru. Yes, there's some facilitated crosstalk between your members or between your clients, but really think of it as a hub and spoke annualized program where they get access to you, your teaching, your training, your coaching, your consulting, your advice, and your insights to help them with whatever it is that you do. Innovation, creativity, leadership, presentation skills, marketing, sales, parenting, financial wellness, whatever it might be, weight loss, career change, technology. Third component, and I've pivoted in and out of this over the years, and it's gotten more expensive, of course, every time that I bring it back, but premium one-on-one access, only if you want to do it. I happen to love one-on-one mentoring and consulting with an individual client. I turned it off for about 4 years, 2014, 2018, didn't do it at all. 2018 brought it back a little bit, 2019 a little bit more, 2020 carried on with the 2019 people. I don't often promote it. I don't often sell it. It is really very exclusive. It's also very expensive, but I love it. So I don't want to completely turn it off. Let me get a drink. So that part is optional. The fourth part, which comes later, and you do not need to have this going in, is an online course. Online course without your personal attention is 100% scalable. You can sign up one person, 20 people, 200 people, 2,000, or 20,000 people. It can be licensed. It can be sponsored. You can have certification programs around it. It is 100% digital passive delivery. It's not passive income. I don't believe in the term passive income. Passive income is what crazy people call it because nothing is passive income. It is actively marketed and passively delivered. Please erase the word passive income from your vocabulary. It doesn't exist. It's a myth and it will screw you up. An online course is vigorously and actively marketed and it's only passively delivered. But that's why you can sign a 6-figure or a multi-6-figure deal, give it to a big corporate client, have them unlock 2,000 seats, and you walk away. Because it is self-guided, it takes none of your personal time, attention, and presence. The first 3 things do take scalable one-to-many, except number 3, which is one-to-one, but 1 and 2 are scalable one-to-many. 3 is one-on-one if you want to do it, and 4 is 100% scalable out to infinity. Infinity! Guess where 4 comes from? 4 comes from the recordings that you make of number 1. 4 comes from the recordings that you make of your live-led, high-fee group mentoring programs. Yes, you can refine it, you can doll it up, you can edit, you can add slides, you can make it visually pretty and sexy and appealing. Our high-fee group mentoring program now is very advanced, very sexy, very cool. Didn't start out that way. We're in the 7th iteration of that program, by the way, which is the Speaker Profit Formula program that many of you are familiar with and several of you are in. So you know how cool and sexy and wonderful that is. It did not start that way on day 1. That's a gross understatement that it did not start that way on day 1. So here's Barry Rutten. Barry came through our High Fee Mastery program. He was primarily doing coaching, and he says, I've been doing one-on-one for $500 a month. Not liking the model for many reasons, put on my big boy pants last week and risked getting an easy $500 a month sale to learn how to make a $7,500 flat fee sale. That was for his high fee mentoring program. He audibly gulped when I proposed the fee, scrambled to get off the phone. I sent a follow-up email with more of the value formula stuff. Got an email today. He's ready to proceed. Maybe this stuff works. Thanks for holding my feet to the fire, Sir Newman. So Barry went from a coaching model primarily to high fee mentoring, online, virtual, and that's what he looks like when he's on his virtual trainings. Although he wears a collared shirt, he wore the t-shirt when he was on our training. $7,500 90-day one-on-one group, 90-day group program, online group program. Kate Delaney came through High Fee Mastery as well. She says, pre-rollout, before the program was even ready, pre-rollout, I have a full fee mastermind client. I qualified him, sent him what the 8 weeks would look like. He prepaid, freaked that he would miss the window of opportunity. He needs visibility and more confidence in getting media. Felt great. Newman's a genius. Notice the felt great. The sales process felt great. Didn't feel yucky, didn't feel weird, didn't feel incongruent. So this is the kind of way that you can sell these programs, get people interested and invested in working with you. Now, I promised you some landmines. Here's 4 big landmines. Landmine number 1 is you start offering low-fee online programs. The $197, hey, hang out with me for a couple hours, whatever. This only attracts a huge tribe of strugglers, wannabes, and what I lovingly call broke-ass losers. You are building the wrong tribe who will never grow your business. That is not the fan base that you want. That is not the subscriber base. That is not what you want to be known for. And I hate to tell you, the low fee, no fee, tire kicker, goofball clients, those are not the people that you want to be known to. Landmine number 2 is no process or system to your coaching and training, meaning that people don't trust that you can really get them the results. Takes way too much convincing, persuading, objections, and resistance. In good times and in crazy times, doesn't matter. This is what we have as our model for our speaker profit formula. So we coach to this, we teach to this, we do webinars around this. This is the format that says, oh, these folks have a system. These folks are not just winging it, but there are 7 pillars to the system. And if any one of those pillars is missing, you have the condition on the right, which is that's why I'm having that problem. That's why I'm being taken for a commodity. That's why I'm pinballing all over the map. That's why I'm slowly going broke. That's why I'm experiencing burnout, because I don't have leverage in my business, or I don't have sales DNA in my body, or I don't have any outreach skills. So this kind of diagram shows that your system has a process. Your high fee mentoring, your high fee program has a system and a process behind it. Landmine number 3, too much push, not enough pull. What I mean by that is spending too much time talking about you and your stuff, and you focus on inputs rather than outputs, which means you're spending way too much time talking about your program and not enough time talking about their results, which means they disappear on you and you have to chase them instead of them applying for you. And then landmine number 4 is having the same exact messaging as you had 3 weeks ago. It is tone deaf. It is not COVID-19 adapted to the new crazy upside down, shaken and stirred world that we're living in. And you come across ignorant, insensitive, out of touch, and your services are not connected to those immediate urgencies that I explained to you before. The immediate urgencies of right now, which is what will get you hired right now. If you don't speak to those same exact things will backfire, and those are all the reasons that you're not going to get hired right now, because you failed to pivot, you failed to flex, and you're marketing the same way you did 3 weeks ago. Type in the word me if you found yourself doing any of these traps. So let's review them. Number 1, you were tempted by let's do a $49 online webinar, right? Let's do a little mini 3-week course, low fee online programs. You're not showing them a system or a process. Too much push, not enough pull, or your sales messaging and marketing messaging is the same as before. Type in me if you've done any of those things and then we'll talk about how to fix it. I'll walk you through a little cool thing I have for you. Then we'll get to our Q&A here at the end. Sounds like an opera in here. Me, 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 me. Okay, lots of me's. Lots of me's with lots of exclamation points. Lots of me's with some smileys. Exactly. You want to have this system firing on all cylinders. If everything is working with your high-fee online virtual and remote delivery programs, let me show you what that looks like. Stone cold truth is you can't upsell a broke person. So that's why that low fee, hey, let's do a $79 webinar, let's do a $99 one-time broadcast of something, not going to work. That's a different buyer than the one that's going to come into your $7, $8, $9, $10,000 per person mentoring program. The world has changed in permanent, profound ways. That's why you need the flex. Your services, your programs, your offers must adapt the way that I showed you before. And if you build your high fee pyramid that I'm going to show you on the next slide, focus 177%. That means a lot. Focus 177% on the folks who you can help. You can help them to survive and to pivot and to win in the new normal. It's not only about you surviving, pivoting, and winning, but you need to change your value prop so now you're helping others to survive, pivot, and win in the new normal. So here's the high fee pyramid, right? Online course, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 per person. 8-week high fee group mentoring program between 5 and 10K per person. Inner Circle Mastermind, kind of level 1. Mastermind might be $10,000 to $18,000 per year. And then your elite access, sort of super duper group of rockstar clients should be paying between $20,000 and $40,000 a year to work with you. So 2K per month, 3K per month, 4K per month, that kind of thing. If you're dealing with an executive, VP, C-suite level person, that money's easily available to them, even if you're working with small to medium-sized business owners. And the value prop is dialed in, relevant, valuable, now more than ever. They will gladly invest with you. If it's not dialed in, if it's tone deaf or the same thing that they've seen and heard lots of times before, you can't get blood from a stone. But the same stone, right, if you do the messaging the right way, will absolutely open up and the floodgates will open for you. So just doing some simple math. Let's say that you had a mastermind program, year-long program for $15,000, and you enrolled one person per month, just one per month, that's it. At the end of that year, you'd have 12 people that would have brought in 180K. Let's say that your high fee mentoring program is $6,000. 30 of those people, it's another 180K. And then let's say you do some self-service courses, actively marketed, passively delivered, right? $2,000 course, 60 people, there's another 120K. 180 and 180 is 360, add 120, it's $480,000 in your pocket. The monthly number on that would be $40,000 a month. In the new world, never having to show up anywhere, enrolling people into your mastermind and mentoring and course-driven business. $40,000 per month. $40,000 per month. So here, possibly, although I'm not a big believer in the Tim Ferriss 4-hour work week, maybe this is the 5-hour work week. I showed you my calendar from 2013. This is my calendar from 2016. So 3 to 5 meetings, a live-led course, speaker profit formula twice a week. It used to be at 4 o'clock. Now it's at noon. You guys know that if you're in it. We had a platinum meeting that week, and then I would do a webinar a couple times a month. So I had to schedule the webinar, the platinum council, the speaker profit formula people, and then a special live-led one-off type program that I was doing in real time with a start date, an end date, and a cohort of people actually coming through it. That was it. That was it. I got my life back. I got my time back. I got my dog back. I got all kinds of things back. It was fantastic. So John Ramstead came through our program. He says, using your talking points, I just got my first $25,000 this week. Client gave me $5,000 at the last meeting. We'll pay the balance when we start our program next week. So he's selling a $30,000 year-long program. And he sells a lot of them. He wasn't selling any of them because, as you say, got my first 25,000, right? 25,000, 5,000 last meeting, the rest now. He has actually increased that to 30,000, and some clients pay 40,000 to work with John for 1 year. 1 year, 12 months, 1 year, 40,000 per executive, per CEO, per VP. So that can work in lots and lots of ways. High fee one-on-one, high fee group, high fee course, high fee mentoring, high fee mastermind, all of those things. I want you to think about this and really internalize this thought. It can actually be easier and less stressful and way more fun to generate $40,000 a month than to generate $4,000 a month. The magic key is simply that you have to plan the math. You have to plan out the math of what you're offering, how you're offering it, how many you want to sell, how are we going to actively market it, passively deliver the course, actively deliver the mentoring and the mastermind, and so forth. So think about it. You can keep going the old way, right? Door number one, speaking gig, speaking gig, speaking gig. Door number two, in-person consulting, coaching, training, seminars, workshops. Even if you like those doors are closed right now. The only door that's open is with quick profitability, the ability to generate cash online without showing up anywhere, having a high-end exclusive, high-value, high-respect, high-implementation offer, 100% remote delivery for you, and COVID-19 coronavirus adapted, flexed, and pivoted value proposition that makes your program and your service and your value now more than ever important and urgent in their world. They have to buy it. They need to buy it because you are pivoting and flexing specifically to help them and serve them in this new crazy upside down world. If you had that going on, scale of 1 to 10, 1 is I'm not excited at all. I don't get it. Newman, you're crazy. 10 is, oh my God, dude, yes, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. This is my future. This is what I want to be doing. This is what I have to be doing. And anywhere in between is fine. What's your number? 1 is not excited at all. Red pill, blue pill. I'm happy to kind of plug into the old matrix and pretend that none of this ever happened. Or 10 is, oh my gosh, no matter where the world goes, no matter how it comes back, it's going to come back, but it's going to come back different, not the same. 10 is, I got to get in on this. I got to shift and pivot my business model, revenue model, and delivery model into this new world because it would be way more profitable, way more fun. I could help a lot more clients. I could help a lot more people. I could serve more. I could do more. I could help more. Let's see what numbers you're coming up with here. All right, 10, 10, 7, 90. I like 90. 8.75, 10, 7, 8. This is it. 10, OMG, let's do it. 6, 10, 8.5. I love the decimals. 8.75. Charles says 1,000. That's really off the scale there. 8.75, 7.5, 10, 7, 9, 10, 5, 8, 9, 10. Time for the Kool-Aid, says Dave. 10 by 10, which equals 100. So thank you, Rick. Jackson is 10. Guy and Don are both 9s. 8.5 from Wayne. Yeah, so these are good numbers. These are good numbers. I like them. So even better news is that you can, in fact, start right now. Live-led group mentoring takes very little preparation on your part, believe it or not, because this is using expertise that you already have. Let me repeat that. This is nothing new. This is reformatting the delivery mode for expertise that you already have and solving problems that you're already brilliant at solving. You're going to monetize, create, test, and refine. You're going to make money while you figure it out. I'm going to show you that in a moment here. But literally, the testing and the experimenting can be generating revenue. Then when you get it dialed in, you scale it up. Here's some of my early experiments. And these are directly out of my PayPal account. So you see I did a launch here on February 27th, 2014, $10,535. That was an experiment. That was a live led group. Hey, let's see how many people sign up for this. Great. We did something later in November that year, 13,877. All came in on one day. This is one sales day. Did something else in 2016, 16,317. Did something in 2015, 20,226 came in on February 25th of 2015. Sale, 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 sale. Live led, course, cohort of people, take them through it in person. Now that doesn't scale, but you start organic and then you can systematize it. Then you can record it. Then you can make it into an online course, or what I call coursify. You can coursify your high fee live led mentoring program. Imagine making 10 grand, 13 grand, 16 grand, 20 grand as you figure it out. This isn't even the final product. This is as you figure it out. As you figure it out. So type in yes with the dollar sign if you'd like to get paydays like this before you even have it figured out. And while you're experimenting, testing, tweaking, and validating, helping people along the way, of course, helping your clients get the outcomes that they want now more than ever. You don't have this dialed in, but look, gosh, $16,000 just came in. Oh my goodness, look, $20,000 just came in. Barry Rutten, who I showed you earlier, he had the $7,500 program. By the time we were done with the High Fee Mastery 8-week program that I'll tell you about here in a minute, he had 5 of those. He had 5 of those. 5 times 7,500 for the math majors in the group, $37,500 of sales. And he used to be the $500 a month guy. I didn't want Barry to be the $500 a month guy. And when his clients paid more, they paid more attention. When they paid more attention, they implemented more. When they implemented more, they got better results. So his program is actually worth more at $7,500 than it ever was at $500 a month. So I'm getting a lot of yeses here, a lot of dollar signs on those yeses as well. So here's what you do. You build your flagship program. I like to work backwards. I use a building block formula. We're going to unpack the building blocks in a moment. Make it client-centric. Everything we do here is client-centric. The marketing is client-centric. The delivery is client-centric. The implementation, the support, the mentorship that you give them is client-centric. It's exactly what your prospects want and need and are looking for help with right now. In COVID-19 land, in coronavirus crazy time, when they're stressed, when they're panicked, when they're maxed out, stressed out, burned out, and freaked out, you're going to come on the scene as the white knight or the white princess, whatever you are, but you're on a white horse of some kind. And you are going to be the rescuer. You are going to be the restorer of order. You are going to be the survival mechanism. You are going to be the path to rebooting, flexing, adapting, surviving now, and thriving later. Do you think they're going to buy that? I think they're going to buy that. In fact, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is that I think they're going to buy that. We'll talk about that in a moment. So here's the building block formula. 8 to 10 week mentoring program. I like 8. 10 gets a little bit long in the tooth. 1 to 2 calls per week. In our Speaker Profit Formula program, we do 2 calls per week. You can break this up whatever way you want. Some people do a strategy call or a training call for call number 1, and then an accountability or a check-in reporting call for call number 2. Some people just have 1 call a week, and that's fine too. 8 to 10 weeks for $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 per person. So we actually started doing this business model, I told you, in 2013. 2014, 2015, and 2016, we were all around 400 to 500K. 2017, we broke through 7 figures for the first time. 2018, about 20% more. 2019, about 20% more. And this year, we're on track for about double that. Despite the craziness, despite the meltdown, in fact, maybe because of the meltdown, we're able to help more people in a more profound time of need than ever before, and so are you. So are you. Please, please, please remember that. I mentioned that at the beginning. They need you now more than ever. Second building block is the High Fee Mastermind or Elite Access Program. That is virtual monthly meetings, and this is equivalent to our Platinum Council that several folks here, Kay is in our Platinum Council, Kat is in our Platinum Council. We have virtual monthly CEO roundtable meetings. We do coaching clinics where I open up my calendar and you would open up your calendar for your clients to have laser calls, one-on-one, 15, 20, 25-minute calls. In our world, it's 25-minute calls. 2 to 3 virtual summits a year. I say virtual summit because now everything is virtual, but in normal times, whatever that means, it would have been an in-person live event. So you can make them live, you can make them virtual, you can have a hybrid, doesn't matter. And that kind of annual program, you should not charge any less than $20,000 a year. 20K, 30K, 40K per year per person is what those programs go for. And that in itself should be and could be a 6-figure or multi-6-figure revenue stream in your business. Building block number 3 is what I mentioned about the course, where you record the online modules, jazz them up, sexify them, put in all kinds of cool, graphics and slides and images and voiceover later. Keyword there, later. Right now, we're going to keep it super simple. What does that look like? Short videos, audios, text, keep it super simple. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't want to overcomplicate your production. You don't want to overcomplicate your clients' and customers' consumption of it either. So filling your program is 10 times easier than you think. It is literally based on one PDF that describes your program. It is an application form with key questions on it of who you want in the program, who you might not want in the program, who's a fit, who's not a fit. A flipped phone script to ask them questions, right? We're not pushing, we're not peddling, we're not striving, we're not selling. We're qualifying and disqualifying. And so it's an inbound sales process. That's what I mean, flip the script. And it is based on a structure and a process and a system. So once you learn it, it's like riding a bicycle. Once you learn it, you can turn that tap on or off or high or low or medium, depending what the marketplace conditions are. And it is now a permanent capability and competency in your business to fill an online program anytime you want with $5, $7, $8, $10,000 per person clients. You guys and gals that are in the Speaker Profit Formula, you know how our program works. We have 40, I think it's now more than 40 active clients in that program right now as we speak. I'll let you do the math on that, but it adds up. It adds up. And we have 12 amazing folks in our Platinum Council. So John Barb, who's actually here, graduated from another one of our programs. And John, I hope you're here and you can chat in the comments. David's program went so far above and beyond my wildest expectations. He came through one of my live-led programs. Incredibly valuable, every single class, every single time. Everything was broken down to make it clear, simple, and actionable. Just one money-making idea after money-making idea. Plus the game plan to put it all together, get into action, and get it done. I couldn't be happier with my investment in David's program. And that's John Barb, the author of Do What Works and speaker. And I think, John, you actually took a couple of different programs in that live-led format that I just described. So when your clients can say this about you and they never saw you face-to-face, you were never in the same room, this was not a keynote, wasn't a seminar, wasn't a training class, this was delivered 100% virtual, online, and remote. There are some of you on this call, I don't know who you are, but there are some of you on this call that don't have testimonials this good for your live programs. Sorry, it's just true. If I can teach you how to do a totally kick-ass, high-value, high-impact, online, virtual remote program, and your clients, your corporate clients, your entrepreneurial clients, your individual clients, your executive clients, can say this about your virtual program, imagine where your business would be. Imagine what your reputation would be in the marketplace. Everyone else is scrambling, going, oh, I hope the events come back. I don't care if events ever come back, except for my clients that are not in this program. Them I feel sorry for. Events will come back, but they're never going to come back the same. And you always want to have this layer of insurance and protection in your business. Happened in 2001, happened in 2008, happened in 2020. We don't know what the future holds. We're not sure how long this will last. Your clients and your prospects need your help now. They can't wait for you to figure this out in 3 years. They can't wait for you to maybe come up with something that you can sell in the year 2022. They need something in April and May and June of this year to help them get through this, survive now, thrive later. So here's the real 5-hour work week. Here's the scalability part that I talked about. Doesn't matter with your $20,000 mastermind, 5 people, 10 people, 15 people. You have an hour-long call, same hour. Same hour for 100K, same hour for 200K, same hour for 300K. If they each paid you $20,000 or $2,000 a month, you're still making that same money hour after hour after hour, no matter how many people pay you, right? So that takes care of that block. This block of time, you have 5 high-fee mentoring clients. You spend 2 hours with them. Our calls sometimes go an hour, sometimes they go 2 hours if people are really intense. 5 people take up $30,000, 10 people account for $60,000, 15 people account for $90,000. The 2 hours doesn't change. You're still on the phone with 2 hours, helping them, guiding them, coaching them, teaching them, answering their questions, removing obstacles, processing issues, making their life and business better, but your revenue starts to scale up. 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x. Same block of time on the calendar, my friends. Same block of time. Your time, your attention, your presence is the same. It is the same. So here are the numbers here as we come into the home stretch, and I do want to tell you about the High Fee Mastery program that I have for you. But this is profound. And when I do the math here, I'm always humbled. I'm always grateful. I'm always kind of having an out-of-body experience because I can't believe this. This is over the last 5 years, since the year 2015. These are not annual numbers, except for the bottom row that are annual numbers. But we've had 435 people come through our flagship mentoring program. We've had 41 people, including our 12 fantastic Platinum Council people, come through our high-level Elite Access program. 203 people like John Barb went through some sort of live-led program with us, priced between 2K and 5K. So that's the math over the past 5 years. So it's about $5 million and change from those things. Doesn't count my one-on-one clients, doesn't count my speaking fees, training fees, but gives you a good idea. 2019, 6 figures in taxes, over $75,000 in donations, which I've always wanted to do. My goal is to hit $100,000 of donations and eventually hit $1 million of annual donations. We're not there yet. We're far from it. And then, of course, maxing out the SEP IRA, which is also really, really important. So if it weren't for high fee programs, none of this would be true. If it weren't for high fee programs, you could erase all these numbers and I would just be making my, 150, 200K. I'd be freaked out that all my events are canceled. I'd be freaked out that all my clients are in lockdown. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't help anyone. That is not the case. I am here with you and I'm going to help you massively transform your business with high fee programs. So again, same question that we asked before, a little bit different context. What would your life and business look like if your main services were 100% scalable, remote, and post-COVID-19 hyper relevant? And just type a word in the question box. All these problems would go away. 100% scalable. You could sell as much as you wanted. Never had to show up anywhere. Remote, post-COVID-19 hyper relevant, meaning tapping into exactly what your buyers and clients and audiences want and need right now. You're not a nice to have, now you're a have to have. You're not a maybe, you're an oh my God, thank God. You're not a someday, let's think about it. You're like, how soon can you start? John, how soon can you get in here? Brenda, how quickly can we get going? Because we need this yesterday. What would your life and business look like? I'm just curious. Type in some feeling words, some emotion words, some outcome words. 100% scalable, remote and post-COVID-19 hyper relevant, where it's a now more than ever value prop totally dialed into your target market. And let's see what you got here. Yeah, these are pretty good. These are pretty good. Exciting, outstanding, relieved, stable, empowering, gratifying, exciting, lit up, prosperous, fabulous. My life would be enriched and fulfilling, flexible success. It would be awesome, semi retired and loving it, at peace, focused, heavenly, hope filled, choice driven versus checkbook driven. Man, I love that. Life changing for me and my clients. Yes, I mean, let's not forget the clients in all of this. This is when you're hiding under your desk and they're hiding under their desk, no one is being helped and no one is being served. So we want to end that as soon as possible. So as we're pivoting into our big close here, we're going to do our Q&A here in a couple of minutes, and I do want to tell you about this opportunity around high fee mastery. Caveat venditor. You've heard of caveat emptor, which is buyer beware. I'm going to tell you something about seller beware. Seller beware. We're all sellers in our respective worlds. You can sell your time, but you can never buy it back. And who you sell to is often as important to your quality of life and quality of work than what it is that you sell them. So here's a whole bunch of crap you don't need. No massive list building, spending a fortune on ads, super fancy sales pages, videos, webinars, email blasts, time-sucking launch nonsense. This is about reaching out to help a small select group. It's about high relevance, low volume, high trust outreach, high relationship outreach to a selected group of people that you know you can help. Here's why this makes sense. There's no need to build a massive email list. You can generate cash quickly in this crazy upside down, shaken and stirred world. You're going to get amazing results-focused testimonials and case studies for the folks that come through your program. You're going to be able to fine-tune and sharpen the value prop as you go, but get paid now. Get paid now. Cash flow is king. It's important that you get paid now. Build small, scale it up later. As a proven expert with authority and track record and beautiful, amazing case studies, testimonials, and success stories. So, I'm not sure why you showed up here today. It could be one of several different things. You're tired of hearing, oh, you should have an online course. You should be doing remote coaching. You should be, doing coaching and consulting and training and speaking on Zoom, but you don't know where to start. Or you want to protect your cash flow, revamp your business for online and remote delivery, and charge premium fees for premium value. Or like me, deep down, you know that offering high fee virtual programs is the key to help you survive, pivot your revenue model, and thrive long term. So if there's one thing to take away from today, I've cracked the code on how to create, market, and fill remote programs with great, fantastic, amazing people, folks like you. And it changed my world, it changed my income, it changed my entire level of impact. I went from 100K years to 100K months, the first of which was November 2015 that I showed you. It is very much a replicable system and process that you can make happen in the next 60 days. So your decision at this point, you can take some of this information and run with it, but you still need a system and an accountability structure and mentoring. And you have a choice. Life is all about choices. You can do it slowly using trial and error and some of what I shared today, or you can do it quickly and apply for my High Fee Mastery 8-week mentorship program, which I'm going to tell you about now. So High Fee Mastery will help you design, package, test, and validate your idea. We're going to help you build super simple weekly modules, create your flagship high fee mentor program that you will offer for 5 to 10K per person, create your high fee platinum or elite access style program that you will offer for $15,000 to $25,000 per person. And we're going to give you all the templates, PDFs, what the web page looks like, what the application form looks like, what the entire workflow skeleton process looks like. So you're getting everything end to end. We're going to help you make your first remote program sales. We're going to review your post-COVID-19 value prop and your new offer to make sure it's relevant, it's not tone deaf, it's sensitive, it's caring, it's valuable, it's urgent, and it's in line with their top priorities. We're going to give you the customized flip the phone script to help you close the sales and get the checks. You're going to get live ammo on your actual sales calls. So towards the end of the program, you're going to be making outbound exploratory conversation calls. You're going to invite people to a conversation how you can help them. You can record that call on Zoom or with a conference line or on your phone, and I will give you live moment by moment feedback on that sales call and what to change, what to fix, what to improve, what not to do, etc. Detailed enrollment conversation coaching. So you're getting the high fee mentoring workshop on how to build your 8-week program. You're also getting the mastermind workshop on how to build the high fee elite access group. And you're also getting the sales training with the sales mindset, tool set, scripting, and live feedback. So you have to ask yourself, how will you be successful this time? There's always information, plenty of information out there. You can be inspired. You can be motivated. People can even recommend, well, try it this way versus try it that way. That's not where you make money. Where you make money is in implementation and generating the outcomes. And high fee mastery is all about implementation and generating outcomes. And there's a relentless focus on results. So we're going to have a private Facebook group, clients only Facebook group. We're going to have weekly web conferencing. You have personal, never stuck email access to me. None of my other programs have this. The Platinum Council has it, but none of my other training, coaching, or mentoring programs have this. People don't email me. People don't even see me in some of these other programs. They never see me. I'm like the Wizard of Oz. Here I'm going to be up in your grill. I'm going to be in your face. You can't run. You can't hide. I'm going to be all over you. It's going to be crazy town. And if you do the work, you will have multiple high-fee remote programs packaged, positioned, in place, and ready to sell even before we're done with the program. Even before we're done with the program. So you're getting the 8-week high-fee mentoring design, the high-fee mastermind annual elite access program, the high-fee selling and conversion workshop on how to sell it, how to talk about it, how to get people excited and invited and enrolled into it, and the accountability program with the weekly calls, the action planning, and personal email support from me. Take all of that together, it's a little bit north of $10,000, $10,991. We're not doing that for you. And even if we were doing that for you, even if you close one new client at 10K, your first client, your first $10,000 client would pay for the whole program. But like I said, we're not doing that. Here's what we're doing. I was going to make this 5K, but I know we're in crazy town, and so we're not doing 5K either. We're doing $36.97. We're doing $36.97. If you're an alumni of one of my other programs, it's less. If you're in the Platinum Council, we'll talk. And payment plans are available. So we can break this up if you need to break it up. The place to go to apply is highfeemastery.com. Highfeemastery.com. You cannot buy this right now. There is no money changing hands right now. There is no one signing up for anything other than exploratory decision call with me. So here's what we're doing. It's $36.97. Payment plans available. There's an alumni discount if you've taken a previous program with me. We'll talk about that on the phone. Here's why you can't just buy it. Here's why I'm not just going to let anybody in. You should feel equally proud of what you sell as to who you sell it to. So guess what? We don't take everyone. You need to apply for this. Sound familiar? Of course it does. I'm modeling the steps for you. If I said, yeah, we'll take everybody. Here, sign up, click here, buy now, shopping cart. Yeah, we'll get all kinds of goofballs, crazies, and nutbags in the group. I do not want goofballs, crazies, and nutbags in this group. This is a curated admission-only group, just like yours will be a curated admission-only group. To start the application process, go right now to highfeemastery.com. While you're doing that, we're going to have our Q&A here in a minute. I'm going to explain a couple more things here before we get to that. Charles Scott came through High Fee Mastery. He did $54,000 of business in his first month, strictly from his executive mentoring program that we helped him create. That's it. No funnel, no online marketing. This was from his existing list, his existing network, his existing clients, his existing audience. So $54,000 in the past month from the executive mentoring program that I created. He says, I'd like to thank you for providing the tools, framework, and motivation for me to create an executive mentoring program that exceeded my most ambitious financial goals. So I'm going to encourage you to apply now. It starts with the application and a conversation with me. I've opened up my calendar for tomorrow and the next day. I am happy to talk with you. It's a 30-minute decision call. I'm going to look at the responses to your highfeemastery.com questionnaire. I'm going to encourage you to be complete and as detailed as possible on that questionnaire so I have a good idea of where you're coming from and what you want to do. And there's two fairly unprecedented guarantees with High Fee Mastery. Guarantee number one, I want you in the program for 30 days. If you don't love it, if you don't like my sweater one day, you don't like my hair, you don't love the program, you don't love everything we're doing, you have 30 days, we'll give you every penny back. 100% money back guarantee. You get to do 50% of the program, right? 8-week program, 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks put together, 30 days. On day 30, Newman, I don't like your sweater. I'm out. Give me the $36.97 back. We'll do that for you. Guarantee number two. So that's a program guarantee. This is a results guarantee that you will earn at least $10,000 if you implement what we talk about, or we will work with you until you do. So that is the second guarantee. When you go to apply at highfeemastery.com, fill out the questionnaire, grab a time on my calendar. Let's figure out if this is a good fit for you and how we can help you. So you are totally covered. Two bonuses before we get to our Q&A. Bonus number one, no idea how to start. I've never done anything like this before. My business is completely offline, completely live, completely event-driven. How do I begin? You and I will spend a one-on-one kickoff call privately talking about your business, where you are, where you want to go, and then mapping out your journey through the entire High Fee Mastery program with my specific suggestions of what to do, what not to do, where to focus, where not to focus, and how to get maximum value from the whole program. That's for the first 5 applicants who apply and then join High Fee Mastery. So if you're not already there, go to highfeemastery.com. It's going to open up our type form application. I'm going to ask you to complete that. When the application form is complete, it's going to go to my calendar. You're not talking to our fantastic team. You're talking to me. So you and I will sit down for a 30-minute chat about where you are, where you want to go, what your goals are for High Fee Mastery. The reason that we're so picky with this program, remember the guarantees. All the risk is on me. All the risk is on me. Program guarantee, outcome guarantee. I'm taking the risk here, not you. So you're getting the High Fee Mentoring Workshop, how to design and launch your 8-week High Fee program. The Mastermind Workshop, how to design and launch your High Fee Elite Access or annual program. High Fee Selling Workshop, accountability, 8 weeks working personally with me, including one-on-one never stuck email support, kickoff call with me for personalized guidance, strategy, and tailored help. Add all of that together, $11,991. Again, that's not what you're doing. You're doing $36.97. $36.97, $36.97 with a payment plan, $36.97 with an alumni discount if you've taken a previous program with me before. Second bonus, we talked about flexing your messaging, and I gave you some nouns and some verbs. Well, we can go a lot further than that with you in particular. I need help pivoting into a coronavirus post-COVID-19 value proposition. What do I say? How do I pivot? How do I flex so that my clients and my prospects see what I do as a now more than ever? So you are getting a COVID-19 value prop pivot and now more than ever messaging masterclass. That's $497 by itself. And that's for those who apply during this webinar and during the Q&A that we're about to start and get invited to join High Fee Mastery. So it's highfeemastery.com. Application's going to open up. You're going to fill that out. Calendar's going to open up. You're going to find a time on my calendar tomorrow or the next day. We're going to map this out. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to go from there. So now you're getting the high fee mentoring. You're getting the high fee elite access or mastermind. You're getting the how to sell it, sales mindset, sales scripting, live ammo feedback on your sales calls, the 8-week accountability program with me personally, the one-on-one private kickoff call, and the COVID-19 value prop development workshop where you can build your now more than ever offers and messaging with my guidance, my feedback, and my oversight. So all together, and now we're done, of course, there's no more room on the screen for heaven's sake, $12,488. You're not doing that. You're doing $36.97. There's the alumni discount. There's the installment plan. I want to help as many folks as possible. So you want to get in on this. You want to get in on this now at highfeemastery.com. Bob Leffler came through one of our programs. He says, today was a typical day. I just got off the phone with a guy who gave me $2,000 of his money because I did exactly what you told me to do. So almost every day that happens to me now. So if anybody's thinking of not doing this, you'd be insane. You've got to not only do it, but you've got to implement everything David teaches, and you will be successful. And that's Bob Leffler from Fearless Agent. So I want you to be successful with your high fee and virtual remote mentoring, training, coaching, and mastermind programs. Again, highfeemastery.com is where to go. Step 1 is going to open up the questionnaire. You're going to hit click here to start. Then you're going to go to my schedule. You're going to see some times open. You're going to see the dates light up for whatever's available right now, tomorrow and the next day. Step 3, I'm going to ask you to put in your contact details. Make sure in the note to tell me that this is my private link for my platinum clients and other one-on-one folks. I don't know what the call's about unless you put high fee mastery into the note. So name, email, phone, and tell me in your note that you are booking a call for us to have a decision chat about the high fee mastery program. And then you're going to click the done button. And then that's going to end up on my calendar, your calendar, and then we will talk tomorrow or we will talk the next day to figure out if this is something that makes sense for both of us. So you get to decide where your business goes tomorrow. You can go back to the old world. I mentioned red pill, blue pill in the matrix, right? Plug back into the old world of, oh my gosh, sky is falling. This is terrible. Events disappeared. Everything dried up. Horrible, terrible. Woe is me. Or you can pivot into the new normal. And you can safeguard your business, you can pivot, you can protect your cash flow for Q2, Q3, Q4 of 2020. And we are going to come out of this, and you're going to be positioned like a rock star when everything comes back. It's not going to come back the same. It's going to come back different. And these online programs will be a permanent capability, competency, and asset in your business for the rest of your professional career. So apply right now, highfeemastery.com. We're about to go into the Q&A. Single payment of $36.97. I mentioned payment plans are available. Get a kickoff call with me for the first 5 folks. Questionnaire, again, please be as complete and detailed as possible. If you're not sure, if you're on the fence, well, do I have what it takes? Do I have, does my program fit? Does my topic fit? Will my niche buy this? Is this relevant? If you're not sure, apply for the call anyway. And you and I will figure it out on the phone. And I will not let you in if I don't feel you're going to be successful. Why will I not let you in? Because you've got the 30-day money-back unconditional guarantee. Don't like Newman's hair, don't like Newman's glasses, don't like Newman's sweater today. And you have the results guarantee that you will sell $10,000 of your remote and virtual programs, or we will work with you until you do. So it's kind of a no-brainer. I want to make this a no-brainer. If you landed only one $10,000 remote client. If you never had to show up or be dependent on live events for your main income, imagine what that would feel like. Imagine the comfort, the security. Imagine being able to pivot and flex into live delivery, online delivery, hybrid delivery. Imagine what you could upsell and cross sell every time you did a live program, because live programs will come back. But now you have an entire digital library and an entire online coaching and mentoring program that you can upsell, cross sell, back of the room, license, certify, pre-sell, or bulk sell to every client that you ever work with for the rest of your professional career. Let's not even go that far. Just one 10K remote client. First 10K remote client, but knowing in your heart you never have to show up anywhere that you don't want to, and you never have to be dependent ever again on live events for your main income, because you can flex, you can pivot, you can roll with the punches. So if you're still here and you're not over at highfeemastery.com, there's nothing but excuses left. The program doesn't work. Well, I showed you the program works. The program works amazingly if you work the program. We've got client testimonials and success stories out the wazoo. I can't afford it. You can't afford not to do it. 2 guarantees. All the risk is on me. You don't like it, you get out. You're completely 100% whole financially. It won't work for me. You know what? If it won't work for you, I'm not going to let you in. If it won't work, if I can tell right away, oh, here's an easy $36.97. I'm just going to take this person's credit card. Well, you come in, you're frustrated, you're pissed off, it's not working for you because we didn't set the strategy right. You're going to leave. I'm going to lose that money anyway. So it won't work for me. That's out the window. I'm not going to let you in if it won't work for you. So what you do right now is pop over to highfeemastery.com. Last time, we're going to go through the parade again. High fee mentoring program, we're going to build that together. Your high fee mastermind, we're going to build that. High fee selling and conversion workshop. 8 weeks of personal access to me for weekly calls, action planning, never stuck email support, bonus kickoff call for the first 5 folks who apply and are accepted. Bonus 2 is the COVID-19 value prop development workshop to help you build your now more than ever offers and now more than ever messaging. $12,488. We're not doing that. $36.97. Payment plans available. Discount for alumni of my other programs. That's how it works. Let's get to some questions. Questions. So I promised to hang out. This training was very comprehensive, very deep dive. I want it to be massively helpful to you. I could have made it shorter, but then I would have had to charge you money. I could have made it shorter, but I would have had to charge you money because that would have been way too much work. I'm going to get a drink while you're popping questions in the question box. I'm just going to take a sip of my water right here. And what questions do you have about converting your business to a high fee virtual and remote training, coaching, and mentoring model? What questions do you have about today's teaching or training? What questions do you have about our crazy COVID-19 post-coronavirus world? Corporate buyers, association buyers, companies, conferences, executives, mindset, sales, prospecting. Any question is fair game. Still haven't taken a sip of water yet, so give me a second. While I'm doing that, go to highfeemastery.com, open that tab, get the application ready to go, and I'll answer some questions. Man, if it wasn't March, I'd be sweating over here. Talk about emptying the tank. All right, so let's see what you got here, peeps. I want to open up the questions here. Pop back into here, and okay. So I think Tina had a question. Don't low-priced options help people get to know you and build trust? Well, so a mentor of mine early on, great question, Tina, thank you. Early mentor of mine gave me the following advice, and this was literally in the year 2002. So it was 18 years ago, and I've lived by this mantra ever since. Be expensive, or be free. Be expensive or be free. So like you, I give massive amounts of value for free all the time. This webinar, with all humility, which might be none, this webinar was massively valuable. There are people that pay hundreds of dollars and do not get the teaching and training that I just gave you right now for free. So I am inviting you to a program that will help you do the same, right? Be expensive or be free. The free is where they get to know you, like you, trust you, understand your expertise, understand your experience, connect with you on a personal and professional level. The know, like, and trust factor starts to build. But if you start to offer the $149 webinar or the $299 course, they're going to see you as a low fee commodity provider. And that low, and we went through this, right? We went through the low fee doom loop and then the high fee benefit loop. Low fee, low respect, low show up rate, low show up rate, low implementation, low results. High fee, high respect, high implementation, high outcomes. So when you charge premium fees for the premium value that you're already delivering, it is actually more impactful to your client because when they pay more attention. When they pay more attention, they implement more. When they implement more, they generate better results, better leadership, better sales, better marketing, better teamwork, better collaboration, better innovation, more weight loss, more financial success, whatever it is that you teach them. The more that they pay, the more they pay attention. So I would adopt that mantra from one of my early mentors: be expensive or be free. And yes, it's a time to help more right now. It's a time to give more. It's a time to serve more. But it's not a time to charge any less or to sell and market any less, because the world needs you now more than ever. So don't lowball it and don't hide under your desk. Let's give them something high value, high relevance that they're going to want to invest in because they need your help. They need your help. Marsha has a great question. Do all the people in the mastermind workshop or other services hear and interact with each other? Yes. Yes, they do. And so even in your live-led programs, even before you create any kind of course, it is what I call group learning or fishbowl learning. Because think about it. You've got 5, 8, 10, 12 executives who are all having similar goals and they want similar outcomes. That's why they signed up with you. Now they're getting your teaching, they're getting your training, they're getting access to ask you questions, remove obstacles, process issues, vent, right? And at the same time, they have a question that someone else can really benefit from the answer. So in our Speaker Profit Formula program, for instance, we always encourage people to ask questions in public. Meaning ask questions, and by the way, I'm going to do the same thing with you in the High Fee Mastery program. When you go to highfeemastery.com and apply, and we have a chat and you come in, I'm going to encourage you, hey, ask that question in the Facebook group or ask that question on our next call. Because I know that you have that question, other people will want and need to hear the answer. So sometimes on one of these calls, the dynamic is people ask questions, they bring challenges, they, try and get their issues resolved. Sometimes the greatest value, and we've heard this hundreds of times, our whole team has heard this hundreds of times over the years. The greatest value I got on Tuesday's call was the answer to Marsha's question, because I didn't even think to ask that question, but Marsha asked the question and I needed to hear that answer. That was exactly what I'm up against. That's exactly what I'm experiencing in my business. That's exactly what we have going on with my team. Oh my goodness, I am so glad, because the question that they didn't even think to ask, the answer when it's asked and answered in public is so valuable to the entire group. All right. So Terry says, David, the pricing you offer seems contradictory to your high fee advice, particularly for the premium value you're offering. I love it. So here's what I'm doing. Because we have a lot of other programs, and our programs run all throughout the year, all the time, this is not one of them. I wanted to put this program in front of you just because, like you're going to do with your clients, I know what you're going through. I know what there's fears, there's craziness, there's uncertainty, there's doubt, there's not a lot of money floating around. So I wanted to put something in place that was an easy yes, that would give you massive results, and wait for it, no big surprise, then you might come into one of my other programs that are not $36.97, but that are $10,000 or $20,000 or $2,000 a month, or et cetera, et cetera. So I wanted to give you a full experience of revamping and revising your business model, your service model, your revenue model. I want you to make $10, $20, $30, $50,000 just from what I teach you here. And I want to get you addicted. I want to make you a lifetime do-it marketing fan and do-it marketing client. And I'm also pivoting and flexing my usual value proposition to this crazy upside down time. So if you want to protect your 2020 revenue, if you want to pivot and flex, if you want to help your clients when they need you now more than ever, I want you to go to highfeemastery.com, do the application, grab a time on my calendar, and this is a specially priced program for a special group of people who are going to do amazing, incredible work in the next 8 weeks to serve and help their client base and their customers in a similar way that I am serving and helping you. So great question. I appreciate the, why isn't this more expensive? Shouldn't this be 10 grand? Shouldn't this be $7,500? And yes, it probably should. But I understand that the situation that you're under might make that impractical. And I want to help you. And I want to also safeguard your investment. And that's why there's 2 guarantees. But the 2 guarantees also flips the dynamic. So I'm not going to be chasing you, right? You're going to be qualifying for me so that I feel good that my $36.97 investment, meaning the tuition that you pay to join the program, that's going to come back to you 2x, 3x, 5x, whatever it is. And if that's not the case, that money's not mine, and nor should it be. So you have the 30-day guarantee, and then you also have the outcome and result guarantee. All right, let's see. Deb has a question. I've got my course, book, process, bonus structure, value ladder. It looks good, and you think I'm ready, but I don't know who to market to and how swiftly you think it'll take to start to realize everything you said we can achieve. That is a big, long question. I will do every bit of what you direct me to do. So it sounds like Deb is in. I know Deb is in because Deb is in our Platinum Council. And so we will get you pointed in the right direction. And if you already have some of these assets, great. That means you're just that much further ahead of the game. But it's the marketing, and it's the organic outreach, and it's the sales conversation, and it's how to usher people into an easy yes where you know that you can help them. Eileen's question, on average, how many people who start your program actually make their fee back and go on to increase their income? So it's a 100% direct correlation. The people that implement get amazing results. Did I show you testimonials and success stories for people who did no work? I did not. Did I show you testimonials and success stories from people who just kind of sat on their hands and didn't implement and didn't take a risk and didn't get out of their comfort zone? I did not. So every single one of our success stories, the ones that are here and the ones that are elsewhere, and there's about 15, 16, 18 more that I could show you, those are the people that did the work. Those are the people that followed the system. And we have a couple of people who came back because we did this program. We did this program in 2016, and then we also did in late 2017. We did it. There are some hangers on there that still don't have this dialed in. And so I said, well, you know what? Send me your sales call recording. And they sent me the sales call recording, and it's got nothing to do with our script. Like, our script is unrecognizable in these sales call recordings. I look at their material. Their material's not in line with our templates and our tools and what we say that they should do. And they've basically done every single step of the process in their own crazy, wacky way. And then they're wondering, hey, where's my results? And I send them right back into the training portal. I say, okay, over here, module 2, over here, module 5, over here, here's the sales script, over here, here's the template, over here, here's what you say, here's how you say it, here's what you do, here's how you do it. Come back to me when you've done that, and then let's talk about how many sales you've had. And invariably, they either never come back because they don't do the work, or they come back and they have amazing success stories that were simply delayed because they didn't do it the right way the first time. They pivoted, they flexed, they made it happen, and they do it right later. So yeah, the folks that do it kind of their own way or think they know better or think they know different, that's not the system, right? Our system, our process is a proven, reliable process. It works. If you follow the system, it will generate the results. And I'm backing that up. I'm putting my money where my mouth is on that with your 2 guarantees. And let me also just scroll through. I think Sam is throwing some questions here, and I just need to scroll back because I might have missed some up at the top. So we talked about Marshall. We talked about Terry. Kat says, if I don't have an email list or relationship already with ideal clients, how do you get enough of the right people into a group or mastermind program? So it's not about email list. It is about relationship. And it's about targeted, organic outreach to people that you have a high probability suspicion that you can help. So it's partly online networking. It's partly organic outreach. It's partly strategically using past clients and past audiences. And that's what you see Charles Scott did, who got the $54,000 of mentoring clients in 30 days. He just did outreach to his existing client base. And he did outreach to his existing audiences. He did outreach to his existing very, very, very small email list. I think his email list is like less than 300 people. And not a lot of people came from the email list. But he just burned up the phones. He was offering value, inviting engagement, inviting people to consider joining his program. And the program was exactly what they needed, exactly what they wanted at exactly the right time, at exactly the right fee. Why? Because he went through the program, and we have a vetting step and a validation step and a confirmation step that makes sure that you're creating a program that people will want to buy. So there's no guessing, there's no winging it, there's no, gosh, I think this is what they want, I think this is what will resonate. Part of what we're doing is the research and the vetting and the validation so that you're already talking to people way before the program is for sale about what do you want, what do you need, what are you up against, and how is this going to work in my world? So great, great question there from Kat. And I think we have a couple more questions. As you're popping over to highfeemastery.com, do the application, get on my calendar. Let's talk tomorrow. Let's talk the next day. We'll see if this is something that is exactly what you've been looking for. Bessie says, this sounds like a system for independent contractors. I have a team. Will this apply? So yes, it totally will apply. I have a team also. I have a team of 10 fantastic, amazing people. And Rod Santomassimo from the Massimo Group, he has 25 coaches on his team. And he's got half a dozen salespeople. And he came through this program already having a 7-figure business. And he found tremendous, incredible transformational value in what we were teaching. Now, in Rod's case, I invited Rod to be part of High Fee Mastery. I invited 2 of his lead salespeople. And the 2 lead salespeople came in at no additional fee. So, Bessie, if you have a team and you've got an enrollment coach or you've got a salesperson, inbound sales, outbound sales, when you register for the program, if we have a chat and we decide this is a good idea, I would invite you to participate, and I would invite 1 or 2 of your team members, and the other team members don't need to pay. So it's 1 enrollment fee for you and your salespeople, your sales team, etc. All right, Stephen has a question. Everything makes sense. 2 questions. Number 1, concerned about lead generation when existing clients have already said no to executive coaching, training, etc. It's a line item shutdown. And then 2, what's an example of the question on the PDF that flips the script? Oh, well, there's all kinds of things. So it's, what you're doing is you're doing what I call deep dive investigative journalist questions. So you're not looking to sell, you're looking to find out what they're up against, where it hurts, etc. So it would be questions like, what's not working in your company right now? Where are some things starting to fall apart? What have you tried to fix it before? What has worked when you tried that? What has not worked? What are your people afraid of right now? What are your people aspiring to right now? And again, you'd flex these questions, obviously, to the new reality, right? Everyone's quarantined, everyone's working from home, everyone's remote. They're concerned about culture. They're concerned about productivity. They're concerned about leadership. They're concerned about profitability. They're concerned about people problems, process problems, profit problems. They're concerned about loss, right? Loss of customers, loss of traction, loss of marketplace presence. They're pulling back their advertising. They're pulling back their marketing budget. They're canceling their events. All of these things can either be looked at as, oh my gosh, terrible, horrible crisis, sky is falling, or what can I do to help you? What can we do to supplement and complement what you're doing remotely with supporting the team, enhancing collaboration, increasing leadership, making the culture even stronger in this time of crisis, reversing the effects of, et cetera, et cetera. So even going back to the marketing language bank that I shared with you, integrating your investigative journalist questions with the right nouns and the right verbs so you don't sound tone deaf and your sales conversations aren't the sales conversations that they were 3 weeks ago. Marsha says, have you revised your templates to reflect the coronavirus too? I have not, but that's specifically what our COVID-19 messaging and pivoting workshop is all about. So for the folks that sign up, apply right now, if your application comes in right now during the webinar, during the Q&A, part of what you're getting is that messaging pivot, that now more than ever messaging changeover, where a small group of us will get on, look at your messaging, figure out the new language, the new value prop, the new pivot points, the new vocabulary. So it's not in the templates, but we're going to do that together in real time, live, with you and a small bunch of people, Marsha, who are in the program. So apply right now at highfeemastery.com. I still see some questions coming in. Apply right now, highfeemastery.com. Questionnaire is going to open up. Be as thorough and complete as you can there, and grab a time on my calendar. Tomorrow, I've opened up my whole day. The next day, opened up the whole day. Many of those slots obviously are taken now with folks coming in, but let's see if we can get you on the calendar for a good decision call. And then let me just scroll up to make sure I didn't miss anyone else's question, or if you have a question, feel free to type it into the question box. Marsha had a question. I'm not a technology person. Can a virtual assistant do all of this except for the delivery and mentoring that I would do? The answer is yes. And I probably couldn't do 20% of what I'm doing if it wasn't for our amazing, fantastic operations manager, Sam, who is on this call right now, and the rest of our team, Courtney and Kim. And yes, they're all women for some reason. 75% of our whole company, by the way, is women. There's only 3 men that work here. It's 9 and 3. They have us totally outnumbered. It's great. So yes, I think a virtual assistant, a virtual admin, someone that can run some of the back-end technology, but even the back-end technology to start is going to be very, very simple, right? You don't need online, like remember all this slide that I said, here's all you don't need? You don't need the complicated launches and websites and videos and craziness. You need a live-led program, which is basically you, a PDF, and a Zoom call. And Zoom is very, very easy to use. We're going to use it all during High Fee Mastery. So you also get a front row seat. I forgot to mention this. You're going to get a front row seat to how I do these live led programs because you're going to be in my live led program. And you will see how simple and low tech it can be. It's literally a Zoom account, which can record. It is PDFs of your lesson plan, your modules, your templates, your tools, your training, your methodology, adapted from what you're doing in the offline world with your existing keynotes, presentations, workshops, seminars, training programs, etc. And it's a handful of templates, tools, scripts, worksheets, whatever you want to give them to actually help them implement the work just like you would in a live led training session. So you can call it a workbook, you can call it a series of worksheets, you can call it templates, tools, scripts, add-ons, conversation maps, process visuals, all that crazy stuff that you would do as handouts, you simply do as electronic handouts. And it's super, super simple. So this is low tech. It's not no tech, but it's low tech. Low tech. When I first started doing this, by the way, in 2008, 2009, just really started to get into it. It was phone, it was teleconference, and we used Yahoo Groups, which is basically an email listserv. And there was no Facebook, there was no portal, there was no video, there was no webinars, there was no nothing. It was primitive. I think John Barb, who is actually still on the call probably, John went through that primitive version of the program where it was teleconference, it was Yahoo Groups, it was emails would land in your inbox. I would write emails, you'd receive the emails, you'd respond to the emails. I mean, it was old school, people. Old school. Old school, old school, old school. So do not worry about the tech. Do not worry about the tech. Let's see. Got Marsha's question. There's Marsha with an SH instead of Marsha with a CIA. Marsha says, do you know about Kajabi? Lori K from FSA just ran one instructing us. I do know Kajabi. I know Kajabi very well. We built our 7-figure business on Kajabi, but Kajabi is one of those things that comes later. Remember, I had that slide that said later. Later. Do not worry about that right now. Right now, literally, you can have a Zoom account, a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group, and that's it. And some teaching content. You don't need the online course portal. You don't need recordings and webinars and membership sites and none of that craziness. So I love Kajabi. We use Kajabi. We recommend Kajabi for people that want to go to that next level. But is it required on day one? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Joan has a question. I am an author of inspirational books and I have done mentoring, but I'm not certified. Can I make money doing group mentoring with my latest workbook? Well, it just depends on the value proposition. And it depends on, is it an urgent, pervasive priority right now for the people that you want to bring in? If you want to charge $5,000 or $10,000 per person, will they pay $5,000 or $10,000 for inspiration? Maybe they will, but maybe we need to find some specific, harder value proposition and harder content through which to inspire them, so it doesn't feel like, oh, this is generic or this is, the same thing that I could have bought 3 weeks ago or 3 months ago or 3 years ago. So you can do all kinds of high fee programs virtually and remotely, but the value proposition has to support the fee. And we don't want you sliding into commodity pricing and low fee and no fee frustration. So, Joan, I think the quick answer is book a call. Pop onto highfeemastery.com, complete the questionnaire, find a time on my schedule for us to talk tomorrow or the next day, and let's map out the details of what you're working on, if this program is appropriate or not. Because if it is, I'll let you know, and if it's not, I'll let you know. But, inspirational books can cover a wide swath of territory. All right, well, I think that's most of the questions. Wow, we still have 84 people hanging out here. Let me give you a last chance. Final chance, final question, 1 or 2 questions. I can hang out for another couple of minutes. what other final questions do you have as you're popping over to highfeemastery.com, applying, filling out the questionnaire, grabbing a time on my calendar? We're going to chat tomorrow or the next day about whether or not this high fee mastery program is appropriate for you or not. And all right. Alan, my current clients are event planners and coordinators for assembling leadership events. That's likely off the table for quite a while. Do I now focus on my CEO audiences? Yes. So a meeting planner is simply a conduit, right? The meeting planner, conference producer hires you to put you in front of an audience. Now you go straight to the audience. So we cut out the middle person, and that's exactly what Charles Scott experienced. And in a similar way, that's what Barry Rutten did as well. Barry Rutten was in the insurance business, and his value prop was for insurance agency owners and insurance principals and managing directors. So now is a great time to go to your executive decision makers because they're hurting sometimes worse than the associations. Now, associations obviously canceled, postponed, etc. Here's what's interesting about the association and the conference world. Try and rent meeting space for September or October or November. They're sold out because everything is postponing. The March, April, and May events are postponing. Specifically, they're rebooking for September, October, November. So those folks know that their business is coming back, or at least they're betting on the fact that business is coming back. CEO who's had to lay off 50% of his workforce? Not so much. Not so much. So this might be, Alan, a situation where solve bigger problems, get bigger checks, right? We talked about that in the training today also. Solve bigger problems, get bigger checks. That might be something that you want to look at. Direct to prospect activity and organic outreach and organic online networking is exactly how these high fee programs are sold to VPs, C-level executives, and board members and decision makers. All right, my friends. Well, fantastic talking with you. Really, really good. I am going to hop off here. What a marathon. Holy smokes. I hope this was valuable to you. I'm looking forward to speaking to many of you on your decision call when you go to highfeemastery.com and fill out the questionnaire thoroughly and completely. Grab a 30-minute block on my calendar. Let's figure out if this is something that will pivot and flex your business, preserve your short-term cash flow, make Q3 and Q4 in 2020 not a dip, but maybe even on par with last year, or gasp, I hesitate to say, maybe better. Maybe better with a hybrid online and offline business model that you can then monetize, survive the short term, thrive in the long term, and have a permanent capability and competency of doing online programs for the rest of your professional career anytime you want, despite the economy, despite the downturns, despite the quarantine, despite the craziness. You'll be able to flex and pivot and serve the clients that need you the most and who want the help the most right now. And you'll be able to do that online, offline, anytime you want for the rest of your professional career. highfeemastery.com. Get on the calendar, fill out the questionnaire, talk to you tomorrow, talk to you the next day. You're fabulous. Talk to you soon. Bye.